everything else. So please let me know when, so we can schedule and you come in and train and do some jiu-jitsu, and then we'll do your podcast. So are you ready, Mr. Joshua?
Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Welcome to the Jiu Jitsu Legends podcast. Today on the show we have Joe Santucci, Coach Joe, aka #1 Pusha Sako. Yep.
What a dick.
He is a lieutenant at MCC Chicago. He's also the lead self-defense instructor, and he's also LCCT kids coach, and also for the adult beginners class. So welcome to the show, Joe.
Glad to be here.
Yes, and it's amazing to have Coach Joe. He's not only the jiu-jitsu coach for the kids, but also for the beginners. And Coach Joe is being, a great help to us. But I wanted to bring him in today because, like I always say, it's not just the people that are famous, but the people that are doing great things, the people that had different things in life. Like we brought, Juliana Pena, she's a big star. Ricardo Lamas just fought. Juliana is fighting October 3rd. We're gonna do with Ben Rothwell. We also have, Joao, which was a guy that had diabetics, and suddenly this guy lost, 40 pounds, and then he's, 4 times world champion. And so we not just want to talk about the life, but the benefits that jiu-jitsu bring to the community and to everybody's life. So Coach Joe, it's a pleasure to have you here. So please talk to us. What I want to know first, your story about it. We'll get that to the lieutenant part, but I would like to see a little bit of when did you start jiu-jitsu and how and why?
Where and who were you with?
Well, my first exposure to jiu-jitsu was actually in Hawaii.
No way.
Yeah.
Where in Hawaii?
Back in 2008.
What are you doing in Chicago, bro? Are you out of your mind?
Work. Everything has to do with work.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. Bring it up.
I actually won a free trial at this tattoo/MMA expo with this place called Grappling Unlimited with Egan Inouye. He was actually
Egan?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. How long is that ago?
Oh shit, this was back in 2008.
Wow, that's pretty badass.
So yeah, Egan, if you don't know Egan was really big into shoot fighting.
Yes.
Pride.
Yes.
K1, he did all that.
Who does not know Egan? Come on.
True.
It was Egan and his brother, right?
Ensign. Ensign's still in Japan teaching.
Okay, question. Yeah. Egan is the younger or the older? Because I don't remember.
Egan, I believe, is the older.
Okay, I don't remember. Because I remember his older brother, he was a heavyweight, right?
Oh yeah, they both were.
Really?
Yeah. They're small in stature, but they're built. They were solid.
Hawaiian, huh?
Mostly Japanese.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Anyways, the last name is a Japanese name.
Okay. I really didn't know because I thought they were actually Hawaiian.
No, then they came up about the same time actually as BJ Penn. Actually, a little bit more before them. Before him.
The only one. The one and only.
Yeah. That was my first exposure. Did it there for about a year. Due to life events, had to step back for a minute. Mm-hmm. Got back into jiu-jitsu about 2014. I started going.
Question, just so I want on myself. So that was you started in Hawaii?
Yes. Not
in Japan. Japan was after.
No, Japan. I lived in Japan from about 2001 to 2002, 2003. I was rather 1 year military, 1 year just traveling. Actually.
Where you going? Army or Navy?
Navy. I was stationed in Yokosuka, Japan.
Excuse me. And you speak English and Japanese?
I speak pretty much fluent in Japanese.
Oh my God! How you say you're gonna kick my ass?
Utabasu yo.
Utabasu yo. Ooh. Kaho. Atama dakai. So just so you guys know, Coach Joe and his kids, they actually teach me some Japanese, and I'm getting pretty badass. I'm getting pretty badass. This is what I think. But I only learned like the potato head and shit like that. Go ahead, Coach. So you were before in Japan.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit Japan, then we go to Hawaii. Because I want to know a little bit about the military.
Yeah, first year I was stationed in Yokosuka. I was actually base security. I was going through the whole process of going through SEAL school and everything. Then it turned out.
Excuse me. Yeah. You see how this shit is so badass?
Mm-hmm.
Like
I didn't know any of it.
I didn't know any of it. Because, you think like this guy is the nicest guy in the world and SEAL. The only SEAL I know is the guy that sings. You know what I'm saying?
So I was doing that, and then
This is what happened when you give coffee to me. I got
don't
pumped
give
up.
him any more caffeine. He's
Hi, Daniela. How are you?
I was doing that. Was going through the whole background thing, and that's when stuff kind of hit the fan because my recruiter had me lie on my application telling me I never had asthma as a kid.
What?
Yes. So I ended up getting medically discharged for that,
No.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
and my recruiter got court-martialed.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So after getting out of the military, I went back to Japan and just started traveling.
Okay.
I ended up at a couple different gyms. I ended up sparring with a bunch of big guys because they didn't have anybody big over there.
In question, before jiu-jitsu, because I know you did you do some stand-up? You did other things,
I did
right?
stand up. Yeah, I did karate for about a year and a half.
Oh, okay, cool.
I've
In
also-
Japan?
No, that was back in Pennsylvania, and
No shit.
yeah.
So how are you in Japan and you're not doing like some kung fu, some like some martial arts? What's wrong with you?
I was still going to the gyms over there. It was mostly like kickboxing and stand up.
Really?
Yeah. They would bring me in to spar the bigger guys for the K1 because they had no bigger guys.
Of course.
Because you had all the big names, and they would bring me in just to spar with them because the other guys was too small.
Really?
Yeah.
And what was your weight back in the
Oh.
days? Two.
Back then, in
Two.
it was about,
Don't come with the 100 and something.
no, I haven't been 180 since I was in 7th grade. Okay.
Since you were born.
No. I was about 220, 225 lean.
Holy lean.
Lean.
Damn,
When
lean.
right before I was getting out of the military, they measured me at about 3% body fat.
Really? I don't think you ever be 3% body fat, have you?
Me?
Yeah.
No. Never. Fuck that.
3%, no. Maybe it's 6%, but 3%, no.
So yeah, from there, about a year traveling, then decided something new.
So, no wrestling though.
No,
Just
all stand up.
kickboxing, all stand up.
All stand up.
So,
Like I said, my first time actually introduced to anything like jiu-jitsu was Egan at his shop.
but then, so after that 1 year and a half, you went to, because I thought you stayed longer in Japan. Did you went to Hawaii and came back to Japan?
No, after about a year in Japan, I moved to Hawaii. Just something new. I need to change of pace.
Okay, but then you already got married and shit?
No.
That was later.
We got married back in 2003. I met her in 2000. When I first met her about being in Hawaii about 6 months.
Oh, so you met her in Hawaii,
Yes.
not in Japan?
No, in Hawaii.
Wow. Okay, cool. That's some love story.
The funny thing is, we actually flew from Japan on the same flight, stayed in the same hotel, but didn't meet for 6 months later.
My goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
So
Question: did you learn Japanese in those? How long? And that when you were in Japan,
Yeah.
or just after?
no, because when you're in Japan, you're immersed in the language,
Huh.
and you have no choice but to pick it up.
That is cool.
Speaking.
Was it easy for you or was it hard?
Oh no, it was easy. After about 2 or 3 months there, I was already speaking it.
How are you speaking as Japanese? Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
Well, once you surround yourself, if I go to probably Brazil.
No,
right?
no, it's true. It's true.
If you surround yourself, you pick it up just like that.
Yeah, if you have to, yes, it changes everything.
You have to survive.
So back to jiu-jitsu now.
Yeah.
So you didn't do anything in Japan, and I thought you did something in Japan.
No.
So you did not. So
No.
when you moved to Hawaii, and then you met the first one, it was Egan.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and now bring us.
From after Egan, I went to back in 2000. It took me to about 2015. I went back in jiu-jitsu. I went to Alliance.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And who was teaching that?
No,
Some Brazilian guy, I would say.
no, actually, local guy.
Really?
Why is his name escaping me now?
Yeah, who cares? No worries.
Okay.
How long?
No
so,
disrespect.
No
no
disrespect.
disrespect. Of course
Keep
not.
moving.
Yes, we just gotta keep moving.
So I was there actually till we moved here, back in 2000.
Okay, so when you moved to Hawaii, were you already into, you were just martial or?
No, when I moved to Hawaii, I was nothing. I had
Oh.
no job. I was homeless,
What?
living on the streets.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I
I finally start, I know this guy for so long now, it's like, oh, really?
Now we start finding everything out.
You see how it is?
As he's about to leave,
Podcast,
right?
man, it brings life.
Yeah, actually, I moved to Hawaii with nothing. It was time for
serious?
something new, so I went. The closest place from Japan was Hawaii.
Well, I thought like when you leave the military, I mean, I mean, it's something dumb that I kind of don't know, but at least I never kind of ask. Because that's like, I think I feel like it's something like, dude, you've been in the military, it's like most of the time you think, hey, if you're going to serve your country, once you're out of there, someone out there, it will take care of you or will help you
Not
out.
always necessarily, no.
I see.
I did end up using the services to find a job.
Okay.
To get back on my feet a little bit, but this about as far as when I had to work my ass all the way up.
That is crazy.
So when I first got there, I was working. I would just pick up the work trucks would come by for construction job, pick you up and go take you to work, bring you back and drop you off. That's what I would do.
Really?
Building rock walls, demolition, everything.
And how was Hawaii the first time you went there?
When
was
Hawaii.
that?
Still Hawaii.
Oh my God, man. Okay, I got it. So when was the first time that you went to Hawaii?
2002.
2002.
When I got there.
Oh, what a son of a gun.
So yeah, when I got there, after that, I started working at different jobs like restaurants. Met my wife, went from there.
And jiu-jitsu so you started with Egan?
Yes.
No, with the Alliance guy.
No, I started with Egan. Egan was my first time experience with the jiu-jitsu. I won the free trial at the MMA/Tattoo Expo.
Oh.
So I go up in there. Honestly, his gym was maybe half the size of this room right here. I mean, just from here to here. That's it.
Wow.
It was so small.
So like 6 bodies, right?
Maybe 8 at the most, but you're shoulder to shoulder the whole time. So, and that was an experience because back then it was still throw you to the wolves. No air conditioning.
Of course.
Full gi on, your white belt, walking right in.
Kind of like by Louise.
Yeah.
So, but then, I mean, once you walk in there, did they know some stand-up? Because there's, when you have a stand-up guy coming in, jiu-jitsu guys, it's like, I feel like everybody wants to kick your butt and stuff like that.
I usually keep it to myself when I first walk in the gym.
Yes, you should be smart, yes.
And I don't say nothing or do I just go with the flow. But they're like, big guy, let me see what I can do against them. But then back then, my whole game ended up being, from the beginning, pressure game.
Well, you have the extra weight,
Exactly.
the extra size.
Exactly.
You should be smart and do that.
Pressure game and I'm using my strength, which always tired me out. But
who cares, bro? If you pay the dues, that's what we're looking for. We want to kick everybody's ass. So Egan, then you started there. For how long were you?
I was at Egan for about a year.
Okay.
Then we moved actually into, because at that time I was working. I just started working for HPD, Honolulu Police Department. And then after that, I got picked up by the Federal Bureau of Prisons.
Wait a minute. So, which one you start working for?
I worked for Honolulu Police Department for about 3 years.
Oh, so you were a policeman?
Yeah. I actually went from working at restaurants and AAA and Disney store to working for HPD.
No shit.
Yeah.
And how did that happen? Did you do
I submitted my application and I was working at this place called 88Ts in Waikiki. The one of the security guys they actually happened to be HPD.
That is crazy. I have a question, actually, it's a curiosity, because being Brazilian, I know there's a lot of Brazilians that goes to Hawaii because, there's some pro surfer, and I know they were that back in the days. So being that big, that strong, knowing a little bit of jiu-jitsu, knowing some kickboxing, because we always have that thing about the black trunks surfing, like if you're not from there, people kick your ass on the beach. Yeah, but how was it back in the day? So this is the thing. If you're not from Hawaii, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you come to surf in there, and like the Hawaiians don't let you surf. Not that they don't let you,
it's territorial.
It is.
So what is it with the shorts?
Well, they have something that
it really wasn't the shorts. It's just more like the area.
Well, they say that their nickname is Black Trunk.
That's more Cali.
No, in Hawaii, that's what everybody says about it. Black Trunk.
That might be over in Kauai or I was in Oahu.
Yes.
It was in Kauai yet, probably, but
yes.
Oahu.
So where's Pipeline is? Kauai?
Pipeline?
Yeah.
I was in Oahu, over North Shore.
Really? But dude, I always hear, okay, so Pipeline, Waimea, they're all
Waimea Bay? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's up on North Shore of Oahu.
So that's my question though. How was back in the days? Were you able to kind of experience some fights on the beach or something?
Everybody fights everywhere over there. Are you kidding me?
Really?
That's all they like to do is scrap.
Tell me about it. Like,
well-
this is history, man. Like, did you get in any fights? You know,
we got in fights all the time. Are you kidding me?
that's nice.
That's look somebody the wrong way. They want to scrap. They want to fight.
But the Hawaiians, of course.
Not just Hawaiians, everybody local.
Really?
Oh yeah.
And everybody will be big just like you, right?
Well, bigger. A lot of guys over there are bigger. You have the Samoans, you have the Tongans, you have the Hawaiians. They're huge.
That is badass.
So,
I can see like all the little Brazilians over there with all these big ass Hawaiian guys. But you know, luckily some of the guys, I mean, I don't know when you were there, was Helson Gracie there already? Because
No.
I know Helson is being Hawaii for,
no,
I don't know for how many years.
I know he wasn't actually. I don't think
Okay.
because there was only like a couple of different studios that were teaching Brazilian.
Back in the days.
Yeah, and everybody was so small. Like Egan's place was up in Manoa Valley.
Yeah, because Egan, this we're talking about back in the days where they used to fight. Was that K1 or?
It was still K1 and Pride back then. Yeah.
Pride. That's
Yeah.
where I saw, you know, Egan and Inouye. So it was Egan and his brother.
Ensign, yeah.
Ensign. Man, I mean, I remember the older one was huge. And then eventually the younger one, you start getting bigger.
Back at that time, they both were huge.
Okay.
Egan now is like half the size he used to be. Honestly. I've seen pictures of him online. Because he's still big into the jiu-jitsu scene.
A lot of cheese. You know what I mean. A lot of cheese.
Fuck you put in your coffee? I know you don't drink.
What extra shots did you add to it?
And I got some coffee here, and hold on, as you guys can see,
I don't think it's coffee.
is the daddy. Because I was so sleepy and I had to get some coffee. I made coffee for everybody so I can keep that up. What's up, Sean? Os.
Some guarana in there.
Sorry. I have so many questions about Hawaii, you know, because it's like you hear all these stories about Hawaii all the time and about the fights. Because I was here, it would be like an interview or, you know, the Brazilians talking because they always went down there. And as you know, Rickson had probably one of the biggest fights with, you know, a very famous Hawaiian guy in Brazil, you know, because he was surfing in Rio. And this Hawaiian guy, it was in the local area of the guys from Rio, and all these guys are like Rickson friends and all that stuff. And I forgot his name, but then he broke this guy's board, the Hawaiian guy, you know, and then never be well, you know. But you know that's pretty much what probably he was used to do back in the day, and I think Rickson, you know, they went where he was. He was at Rico's house, which is a very famous professional surfer. He used to live in Hawaii too, Rico. They call Rico. Yeah, he's very famous down in Brazil, and he used to surf way back in the days, and I guarantee it was back in the days that you were there. But Rico was a really nice guy, but this guy was staying in his house, and Rickson show up in his house and call him outside. And this guy was huge, you know, Hawaii, and then the story is amazing. And then they have actually a fight on the street, you know, because Hicks was like, motherfucker. But they didn't speak a lot of English, but, you know, he hears like something like motherfucker, and he goes, oh, he's calling me like, filho da puta means motherfucker. And he was like, okay, now we fight. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, a lot of the things that happen, they say they break the boards, and that's why I was on it. Once you were a cop there, you know, if you get... Now, being a cop, did you on service, and then did you have to do any fights against anybody that was drunk or?
No, that's all the time. You know,
really?
when you work in the beat, you call you get the drunk scenes, you get the people on drugs. Anybody can become combative at any time.
So that's what I want to get in. So how good was Jiu-Jitsu? Talk us about, because you probably, like right now in our gym, LCCT BJJ Schaumburg, you know, we have a couple affiliations, but you know, this is going to go around in YouTube and all that stuff. How important it is for you to be, you know, in the law, right, an officer, and how important is, because now I know you also you're instructor, but how important is Jiu-Jitsu for, you know, for being an officer?
I think very important, because where most fights end up, on the ground, and you want to be able to gain control of the person on the ground. Control the whole situation, Because once you lose control of a situation, that's when things flip. When you don't have control of the situation, that's when things go bad, and that's what you want to do.
And were you able to have a lot of fights there in that situation, and use your kickboxing, jiu-jitsu?
That, and we also have other tools at our disposal that we like to use, but that's when you're working to be it. But inside the prison, yeah, that's all you got, your hands, most of the time. That and OC spray.
So we're gonna get there, but I want to leave this more towards the end because I want to, we're talking about jiu-jitsu, when you started. So after Egan, right, you went to the Alliance guy.
I went to Alliance guy from
and that was just pure jiu-jitsu?
Pure jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
The whole time.
For how long?
I started there in about 2013, and then until we moved here in 2015.
Oh, when did you get back to Japan again?
We've been going back and forth for the last 19 years.
Because you guys travel a lot back and forth.
Yeah. Because from Hawaii to Japan is only about a 7-hour flight.
So 2015, you got back here to Illinois.
The 2015 we moved here, April 2015.
You moved here, okay.
Yes.
And you moved because
I went from being a normal officer to a lieutenant. They said you're promoted by the way you moved to Chicago.
I hear you. And then when you became a lieutenant, were you still an officer, but then you work on the federal?
When I became a lieutenant, I became a supervisor in the Bureau of Prisons.
Okay.
I joined the Bureau of Prisons.
Yes.
I went from HBD to the Bureau of Prisons back in March 2008. So I've been actually with the Bureau now for over 12 years.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. And that's another thing because we have a lot of officers too at the gym. We got a lot of officers actually. And I kind of feel like, not saying anything bad about, the police or anything like this at all. I'm out, pro to help and to always, throwing seminars for them for, just to get them there for free, because I think you guys put your lives, out there the whole time. And I always feel like there's not really, yes, there's a lot of investments and all that stuff, but I feel like there's not enough investment towards the training. And also, I know you are also a trainer, but I feel like most of the officers that we got in the gym, most of the self-defense and the amount of time they actually give it to you guys, once you come in,
yeah.
I feel like you were an officer too, right? You were part-time in Schaumburg? No? It was where?
Elmwood Park.
Okay, so once again, and I like I said, and this is my experience, okay, guys? It could be something different, but in my own experience, in the seminars that I did and all that stuff, I feel like a lot of the times the officers, are not prepared exactly the way they should. What do you actually think about? Because now you also coach, but also you train the self-defense. But I feel like most of the officers that walk in the gym, they are actually doing on their money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They actually put in their money to get more training.
Well, that's what we do.
Okay.
We actually, right now in my work, we only have a refresher course once a year.
Really?
Is that 8 hour or is that a weekend?
No, that's 4 hours. It's just one 4-hour refresher course, and that's it.
I see.
When you go to our academy down in Georgia, you are down there for I think it's 4 weeks, I believe. It's been a while since I've been.
Yeah, well, let's put that in perspective. 4 weeks compared to what you have to deal with.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So every year, what I usually do is recommend, go try something out.
I hear
I tell them, go on your own. Make it a family event. Take your kids, take your wife, take your husband with you. Go try something out outside.
I hear you.
Get it out of the tool in your toolbox. Some people take the advice, some people don't.
No, I understand. I once again, I did seminars with some police department before, and I feel like this police department, maybe they were investing more on, on the training and that stuff. So I felt like at least, the officers were more in better shape. But then I did from some other, I'm not gonna say no names, but dude, I did some in different states, and it was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like these people, man, if they're able to use a taser, I mean, you don't want to be tasing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And what I feel now more and more, you got a lot of, young kids, or young adults that are doing MMA or just want to be MMA.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knows, how to do a double leg takedown and all this stuff. And I feel like some of the officers now, with all the shit that's happening, not just in the States, not just in the US, but
Just
even
life.
though back home, even back home in Brazil, it's like you have the cops, and the cops are always scared to do something. But what people don't realize a lot of the times, man, it's like, dude, you also have a family. If you don't want to get in trouble, when you say, hey, stop, put your hands up, or do whatever, you should just follow the orders. And once again, I'm not kissing anybody's ass, but I come from actually a family that my grandpa was an officer, and dude, he got shot, shooting with, bad guys. And, a lot of the times, it's like you have a counting bullets, this is back at home, and it's like, it's last resort. Oh, you don't shoot until the guy shoots you. It's like, oh, you gotta be kidding me, man. So a lot of the stuff I really think, and as a fan, I don't want you to, to go into all this stuff, but I just feel a lot of the time, if there was a lot more training, I think there would be a lot less trouble, don't you think?
Oh yeah. As long as you stay within your policy procedure for every department, you're fine. That's all it is. And I know there's a lot. This day and age is a lot different than what it used to be, because now there's a lot of videos out there. And so it's a lot easier from people than Monday morning quarterback after the fact.
And then everybody's scared because you're going to be in video. But that's what I'm saying.
Not only that is that a lot of the times is they'll take the video and then they chop it up. So if the video is completely like 10 minutes long, they give you a minute and 30 seconds of the bad shit that caters to what they want to say. And if people want to say, oh, you're wrong for saying that, it is what it is. That's just my opinion. Everybody's got one, just like an asshole. So too bad, But
everybody's can have their own opinion. That's okay.
Yeah, everybody's entitled to it. And like you were talking, you say they go for the refresher course, and it's 4 hours, right? You said?
Yeah, 4 hours is nothing.
That's nothing.
Nothing. You never actually know what you're going to do until you actually get put in a situation.
Yeah, when you get put on that scene, or you get put in that situation, or
You know how you're going to react.
And especially you said that it's different for you, because if you're a patrolman out on the street, you have all the tools with you.
Yeah.
But if you're in the jail like you know what I mean? All you have is a spray, and that's it.
Spray in your hands and
So
your
you're
mouth.
going
That's
in
about
raw,
it.
and that's it.
Yeah.
So
And I'm sorry.
no, it's okay.
And I know in prison, like he's saying, it's now you're in a closed environment, which is way more dangerous, right?
Yeah.
And how I mean, because we don't have an idea. I mean, I see some videos or some documentaries, how it is and how things run. How is that, man? How is working in a place like that? I feel like everybody there is there for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
And then I'm going to say something before
Yes.
he talks. So finish what you're
No,
going
go ahead.
No, I just want to commend you, because I've known you for almost 3 years now.
Oh, yeah.
And from, we've talked a couple of times, and you told me some stories about work and stuff, as I have with other officers. But I want to commend you, and you're always professional. Never once have I seen you to the point where it's like, you know what I mean? Like, some guys took that line where it's like, they bring
one
work
step
into
this
the
way,
private, and then the private life goes into, but you've always been professional, so I commend you on that.
It's just balancing act. You have to learn how to separate the two.
Yeah.
If you don't, both suffer. You're gonna go crazy. I've actually been there before, right? That's why I know from experience. But you have to balance life, work, and life. Sometimes the two can intervene, but it's not good when it does.
Yeah, I have actually back in Brazil. I have one of my friend, like my best friend there, Fernando. He actually he was a lieutenant too. He's also a trainer, into the whole operation helicopter. He actually flies helicopter. He does that jumping out of the
He repels down.
everything. So this guy's like the badass of it. And then eventually he became the head of it. The whole one of the biggest prisons in Rio. And it's so badass because the story he used to tell me, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And how dangerous it is, And I feel like sometimes people don't understand what you go through every day. And it's like, I feel like it's like a bomb ready to explode. Like you said, if you don't take the right precautions, you know what I'm saying? How Did you ever have to do jiu-jitsu or your kickboxing? I mean, you probably did,
Oh, yeah.
but, you know, and how much that helped. Once again, my idea here is to bring you experience, so some other officers that they're about to start or they're already there and they have no idea what the jiu-jitsu, you know, can do and can help. Because once again, I have officers now in the gym that after 3 years training jiu-jitsu, it changed. I mean, I look at the guy, I saw the guy the first time, and I was like, oh my God, this guy, how this guy can be, you know, an officer. Because even though in the beginning, they're like, dude, you know, it's like sometimes you see some huge guys, man, and they're coming at you. It's like, you know, it's your life or their lives, you know, and, you know, and of course, you don't want to shoot someone and get in trouble, you know, and then it's like, I feel like you guys always have like a knife on your neck, you know.
We do, because we're in the public the whole time.
Yes.
Everything we do is public. Why do you think we only get called for problems?
True.
That's why people love firemen, because they get called to save somebody. We
True.
get called to deal with the problem for a bad reason.
That is true.
So that's what.
Yeah.
With jiu-jitsu and work, it's a confidence builder. It means it shows you can handle yourself. You
And
have
do
the
you
confidence
think
can.
that inmates, they look at you and they go,
Oh, yeah.
this guy.
Inmates will size you up the minute you walk in that room. They know who.
Test. Yeah, they want to see who
They know who they can mess with. They know who they can't mess with. If you could come in, you take control of the situation, they're not going to mess with you.
Never.
And it all comes down to respect issue too. They know if you respect them, they're going to respect you.
Nice.
They're not going to mess with you.
Nice. Did you ever, like in the beginning, or?
Oh, I was timid at the beginning.
Really?
I would just sit there. What am I supposed to be doing? All right, there's 120 of them and one of me. There we go.
Oh my God, yeah, that's crazy. Did you ever have to do any, like, that you had to walk in and defend yourself and fight for your life? Or any, like...
I've been attacked
any,
a couple times, but...
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but that was mostly in Hawaii.
Being an officer, just
No,
being
yes,
an
being
officer.
an officer, and then it's fight or flight, pretty much.
Really? What
You
happened? Like a
understand?
drunk guy and just
No,
attacked you?
just they get frustrated with their whole situation in there, and they want to take it out on somebody.
Oh, shit.
But then, being new, they always go after the new people. Kind of go after the newbie because they know they're still timid. They don't know how to handle themselves. But yeah, so
Any story that you can tell us that you did in the you know, against an inmate, that you had like a
Or
fight,
not so much
that,
you, or just someone.
or just someone that you
Oh,
know,
yeah,
like a
know.
bad fight or something like that
well,
that you saw.
the worst one I've seen so far, actually was in Hawaii. We had a unit of 120. We had an immigration center too, so we hold immigration cases. So we had a unit full of half immigration, half locals. The local guys just had to get drunk on homemade hooch. I was working as what's called a quarter officer, so I'll be going through the floors, helping out doing that with me and lieutenant. We get called up there because I guess there's some tension. We get up there, and all of a sudden we walk to the door, and all 120 are fighting.
What?
The local guys are trying to go after the immigration guys because.
Jesus.
So we have to go in there. It's actually only 3 of us at the beginning. Me, lieutenant, and the officer. The officer's a rookie. So I'm taking hold of him and throwing him behind me. Well, the lieutenant's trying to split guys up, and he said, hey, until we get moved, don't worry about that. So we finally get more people up there. We get them all locked down and everything, but it was just 120 people fighting one time.
Chaos at first.
Yep.
Wow. Any funny stories that you see that was funny that you can say it?
That I can say. Let's just say I've known a couple inmates get something stuck someplace that it shouldn't have been stuck. Prison wallet. Well,
Okay.
and had to be taken out to the hospital and get it surgically removed.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Okay, so guys, all I want to say is that we are here with not only coach, but Lieutenant Joe Santucci and Chris. They're both coaches at LCCT. We're doing the podcast. So normally I do halfway on the podcast on Facebook, just so you guys can have an idea what we're doing. So this way, but we are on YouTube. So please check us out on YouTube, the Jiu Jitsu Legends podcast. And you'll see the rest with Coach Joe and Donnie on YouTube. So please subscribe and like us. So normally I do half here, half there. So this way you guys can go there and see it. So this way it's not just on YouTube and on Facebook, and we'll lose it there. So just check us out. We have, once again, I'm bringing everybody, guys. I'm just trying to help. We're trying to help the community, trying to help, people that wants to lose weight, people that wants to be a fighter, people that has diabetic problem. I mean, we're trying to do everything to bring the best for you, the most information to all you guys. So once again, Chris, go ahead.
Jiu Jitsu Legends podcast on YouTube, and you can also check it on all platforms: Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Podcast. Everywhere you can get a podcast, check us out. And when you go to YouTube, hit like and subscribe if you don't mind. It helps us grow and it helps to keep this thing going. So we appreciate all of you. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. As you notice, he's got the coolest shirt ever.
Not even showing me right now.
Wait,
He does it all the time. He'll be talking and it should be on the ceiling.
Look at that shirt, man. This guy is the best. All right, guys. I'll see you guys soon. I hope you enjoy it. Check us out once again. YouTube, the Jiu Jitsu Legends podcast. Thank you very much. Rickson Gracie for life.
So after talking about prison wallets and everything.
Well, I had to cut it out a little bit because the prison thing, with the hiding thing, kind of scared me. But I once again, I had. It is a different world.
Oh, it's a totally different world.
It is a different world. It's a place like where a lot of bad people are together. So
honestly, you have to have a certain mentality to work there.
I believe that.
You have to be. If you can't, you're not going to survive in the first place.
True.
So we have a lot of people who start and a lot of people who don't finish.
Really?
Because usually first year you're on probation.
Okay.
So you go to the academy, everything, whatever. We've had people quit within a week of starting there.
That fast, huh?
That fast. Not even hit the floor yet. They're up in the class. We're going through our institutional familiarization class, and they're walking out the door within 2 or 3 days. Saying, this ain't for me. Yeah. It's not for everybody. Not everybody can survive in that kind of environment.
Oh, I believe. Like I said, my best friend used to come in and tell me like some crazy story that it's like, what? I mean,
you can't believe it happened.
I mean, you kind of do because, we're adults, but, the things that happen, the mindset. I mean, some of the stuff back home, man, it's bad. But I mean, same here too. You might have like a good prison, but you're going to have bad ones.
Oh, yeah.
And you also you're going to have some places, that you go and it's really bad. And some places are, the burbs are way better than, some of the bad areas. And how it changes everything.
Oh, yeah. The whole mentality changes. Once you go from one spot to another, whole mentality changes. Sometimes it's hard to switch that mentality off when you go home too. You tell people, kids, go lock down your room.
I believe that. So you did that and all that stuff. So tell us a little bit about when you walk in, because when you walk in my gym, you were a blue belt.
Yes.
Yes.
I was already a blue belt.
Tell us when and why and how it changed your next step in your life.
Yeah, how'd you find the gym?
Oh, Angelo, my son, and Hensel were going to the same school.
Oh, really?
And they were talking about Jiu Jitsu.
Oh my God.
And because Angelo had something of one of my stuff in Jiu Jitsu, and Hensel's like, hey, my dad teaches Jiu Jitsu too. So after a while, we ended up down. They were still at elementary school at the time, actually, too. Back in 2016. Eisenhower, yeah.
No, it wasn't Eisenhower.
No, not Eisenhower.
It was the other
Churchill.
one. Churchill.
Churchill, because the name went to Eisenhower.
Yes, so they were
So
Churchill.
both at Churchill. And Enzo.
I didn't know that. I thought you found it when you came.
Enzo gave Angelo one of your flyers.
Oh, so yes.
This is back in 2016 because we just moved into the house in Hoffman Estates.
Dude, you were so close to my house.
Yeah, we're only 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
So after a while, I was already actually pretty much back up to 310 pounds.
Oh boy.
That
was not my fault.
I was bad when I first came into the gym. I was barely able to still do the warm-ups and nothing like that.
But that actually benefited me because him and Jeff, Big Jeff, they were the only two that I was able to train.
You, him, Big Jeff, and
what
is it? Alejandro's husband.
Yes.
Oh, Ronnie.
Ronnie,
yeah.
yes.
Ronnie was there
so
I had
Ronnie was a SEAL also, right? Was he SEAL?
No,
or
he was
just
Marines.
He was
Marines.
Marines.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's so cool. I love
started at the gym. Started to beginner's class again.
And how much weight? What was the lap that you were down the most?
So down the most, I got back down to 245.
Are you serious?
Yes.
My gym is
did
that good, man.
Yes,
Oh
it
my
is.
God, that's
I went
awesome.
through a whole lifestyle change where
Oh, he did. He busted his ass. I remember.
That's true.
I was coming in to train jiu-jitsu, staying, doing more workout and the weights and everything again, get back into what I used to be.
That is awesome.
He was there almost like, what, 3 hours? Almost 4 hours a day?
Yeah.
That makes it.
Because he was there before me and Georgine got there.
True.
So he was doing, I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm lifting weights and running and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I remember. Like you lost a lot of weight.
We were at the gym 5-6 days a week.
True.
So,
Well, we always talk about it, like the importance of,
consistency.
work. Yes, always. Being persistent on anything. You kind of. A lot of people think when they do diets, they have to stop eating and starve to death.
No.
And that's not the case. Actually, the case is you want to eat, more times, less food every 3 hours, so your metabolism keep going, and you just got to know what to do with what you're going to put in your mouth.
Yeah, what to eat, what not to eat.
Exactly, and of course, you got to do a little bit of cardio here and there, but you don't have to kill
You
yourself.
get all the cardio you want on the mats.
I understand, man, right? It's like, dude, it's not that it's an easy thing, the older you get,
Oh, no, definitely not.
or the more weight you get, things just start getting really tough, but, and once again, it's so easy, especially here in the Midwest, it's like, dude, it start getting cold now, and it's like, man,
You only get like 2 months of warm. And
Yeah.
then everything else is shit.
yes, so, it changes a lot.
Oh, yeah.
The perspective, like, okay, I want to go do something, like, you in Cali, Arizona, Texas, like
Hawaii.
Hawaii. It's like if you're not running on the beach, like everything is right there, or you're walking, it's like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta just keep active. Once you sit down, like I did when I first got here, everything falls apart. I was so lazy. I worked, went home, sat there, drank beer, did everything else. Gained so much weight.
And plus it was messed up for you because I remember I'm like, what are you working? And you're like, oh, I'm working PMs. And then the next
I'm
day
all
I
over
see
the place
you,
still.
like, oh, I'm AM. And then your third shift, like the week after that, I'm like, how the hell do you do it?
No sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep when you're dead.
Dude, so you got down to 245,
Yeah.
right? And then tell us a little bit about, so how was that? Because I know at some point after a while you lost weight and then you did your first competition. How was that?
It's a little intimidating once you first get out there.
Make us through. Talk to us. Because, think about it. Let me ask you a question. Why would that be intimidating? Because, dude, you're dealing with inmates, people that probably wants to kill
Because they
you.
have the same skill set as you, at the same level.
I hear you.
And
Well, but maybe the guy has a piece of metal. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I can deal with that all day. That's no problem.
that is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
really crazy
Well,
because.
you got to think about it this way too. My weight class.
Mhm.
If I'm 245, I'm still in the ultra heavyweight,
True.
and I'm going against guys that are like 6'4", 6'5", pushing
Well,
over 300.
I understand, but isn't the same in that situation?
No, because
Crazy?
they train the same way we do. That's the way I look at it.
I
Because
see.
they have the same skill set, the same.
See, I mean, this is what I'm seeing is like, dude, how, this is a real fight and this is points fight. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you shouldn't be intimidated at all. Maybe intimidated not because of that person.
Well, then I have him watch me too, which is more intimidating.
Okay, so maybe that's
That's the main part.
I think that's the
Honestly.
main point. Luis
So
watching.
you don't see it because you're the coach,
No, I understand that because when Hickson was watching my fights, it was like,
I think
oh my
that's
God.
what makes me the most nervous is when he watches me.
Oh boy.
Because you're afraid of messing
You don't
up.
wanna fuck up.
You don't want to fuck up, and you don't want to disappoint him.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm stop going to guys. Fuck other guys.
No, it's not that. It's just like you said. It's just everybody, and we're not just kissing your ass because Pusha Sako maybe, but
No,
we hold you in such high we hold you in such high regard that we don't want to disappoint. But
No, but this is the thing though. There's no disappointment. And that's why I always try to tell all you guys and the kids and everybody. It's, dude, you're putting yourself out there for a tournament, any kind of competition. For me, you're already a winner. Because just going through to the whole, of course we don't want to lose. But I don't want to be a hypocrite saying like, oh yeah, just going to compete. Fuck that. We want to win.
Yeah.
I train guys to win. You know what I'm saying? The guys, the girls, the boys, the girls and the little kids. But the idea is to give you enough tools not just for competition. Because a lot of people, man, think Jiu-Jitsu is about the competition and the winning. Dude, it's not.
No, it's about lifestyle.
It's about a lifestyle. It's about self-defense. You know what I'm saying? And life defense. You know what I'm saying? It's so important. You know, once again, the reason I started Jiu-Jitsu was not because I wanted to compete. The reason I started for Jiu-Jitsu is because, dude, I was getting my ass handled. Like, wherever I go, I always get my ass beat by a lot of people. I went to private school back home. And even though you think like, oh yeah, you're going to go to private school, people are not going to bully. Dude, I feel like it was worse. You know what I'm saying? I got beat up all the time.
Because now you're the rich kid.
Yeah, well, not even that, but it's like where we used to live. We used to live in a private condominium of houses, you know, and you would say like, oh, people from outside is not going to come. It's just the guys from over there. But dude, it didn't matter. We play soccer. We in a private park, and people that would come in would still beat the crap of us. So it's like, man, you know, I need to defend myself. But then you go to school and you think you're safe. You're not safe. And like you said, everything is how you put yourself out there. And once you start doing some kind of self-defense, people start looking at you different. And that's what happened
Because
in my
you're
case.
walking out more confidence.
Yes.
You're
And
walking around-
you kick somebody's ass one time and that's
They
it.
take notice.
Question. Did you ever have to defend yourself, right, working, and then after that, all the mates are like, man, don't fuck with that guy.
Well, they already know that.
Nice.
Word in prison gets around real quick once you handle the situation.
Nice.
If once you walk into that room and then you hear the OGs going, don't mess with him.
Where's OG?
Original gangsters. So the old guys, pretty much the ones that have been there for a while. Because nowadays you have these new kids coming in, don't know how to act in prison. New inmates. That the old timers try to teach them, but they don't want to listen to them because they know everything already.
True.
Just like every other kid out there.
Boy, does that sound familiar?
Just like this new staff coming in my work, they all know everything already. They don't want to be taught anything. I told them, you have to learn somehow.
Everything's a learning game.
Yep.
Well, that's life, man. I feel like everybody always has to, to learn, with their mistakes and the things they do in life. The only bad thing about it is it's not just a mistake that you're gonna make it, that it'll be fine. Oh yeah, I threw trash on the ground. It's just gonna be dirty and then there's ants in it. No, in this situation, you make a mistake, it could cost your life.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That would be me thinking, why would I not listen to a senior guy that has been there,
That teach you
the
how to go.
lieutenant? Yeah. You say, hey, don't put your hand there. Yes, sir. But I know how young people are. And
Yeah, it's a new generation.
I agree.
Most of the time, the way these kids act these days, you act like that when we're growing up. You wouldn't act like that when you're growing
You
up.
get smacked the shit out of you.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, the first tournament, as you're saying, it was.
It was actually, I think it was the Chicago Open.
You didn't do like New Breed or not?
No,
Walk us
I walked
through
first
it.
into the
You
big
went
one.
right to
I went
IBJJF.
IBJJF right away. And
Nice.
Yeah, but it's so fucked up though. Like for us, like when you're in the heavyweight division, it's like you got everybody. You know what I mean?
yeah, I would be standing there 250. Okay, here we go. Oh, who is that?
You get a guy like 330. You know?
Yeah, he's like 6'4", 330 pounds, breathing heavy already, looking down at you. And you're like, okay,
Yeah.
let's see how this goes.
Jeff used to say the same thing. Like, still, when I talk to Jeff's the same way. But I don't know. We got to drop down, right?
I don't know if I can drop down anymore.
Not anymore.
I think my coffee went on. I just said, woo, with all the coffee.
What did you put in this coffee this
I
time?
didn't put anything in.
Hey, okay, we got to the tournaments. We talk about, being there in the beginning. And then we got to the point that you were, for a couple of years at the gym. How long have you been training with us now?
Since 2000, I want to say since late 2016.
Okay,
So
it's been
almost 4 years now.
Almost 4 years
Yeah.
now. And then now you're a purple belt and you're coach, and I know you did the belt test. And how different was that being training in the gym where you have a foundation, a program? How do you think that helped your game?
Oh, and once you have a set program and a set goal, and you're set. Once you have consistency going through everything, you should be good to go. It's when you fall out of consistency, that everything's all over the place, everything messed up, you don't know what you're doing.
Sure. How long was your test?
Oh my God. 5 hours? 4 hours?
I still laugh because remember I was sitting, I think I was sitting with Thiago, and then he was testing with you. And then what did you do? The one escape where you flipped over? And I'm like, look at this motherfucker. He's almost 300 pounds and he's moving like he's 150 pounds.
I did a couple of those. He's like,
Yeah.
how are you that big moving so fast?
Yeah. It was funny. It was good though.
No, seeing everybody doing the belt test and all that stuff, man, it makes a huge difference. I feel like, it's a pretty cool thing to do. And seeing you guys, the improvement that happens is so cool. Also being a coach, I mean, how crazy is that? You can be, being here, taking care, being, in a prison, against inmates and stuff. And then at the same time, you're teaching kids Jiu Jitsu. How is that change between
the transition?
Yes, the transition, because it's totally different.
I'll be completely honest. Sometimes there is no transition. Sometimes the kids have to be taught, put in that perspective, because they have to be told, stop.
Well, I agree. You know how I teach.
Oh yeah.
I have fun.
I actually, to be honest, most of the time when I'm doing the warm-ups and everything, I'm doing like militaristic from start to finish. That's why they get mad at me.
No, dude, I really don't think they get mad at you at all. I think the kids actually like you. I think it's a good thing. Even though they work, but they know they work out. They're gonna have to.
I'm gonna make them put the effort in.
Yes.
If you don't put effort in, there's no reason.
And this is important thing that we're saying right now. Sometimes I see some parents, man. It's like, look, I mean, yes, I don't want to teach you how to grow your kids, but you have to understand that life is super hard. Out there is going to be way harder than your house, than your home.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And of course, we're not preparing you because you're going to get arrested. We prepare you for life, but just to understand that, hey, you want to be in shape, you want to get something, you want to be a champion, you want to be successful, you got to get out of your ass and make it shit happen.
Most of the time, I like to tell those kind of parents, you're not here to be their friend, you're here to be their parent.
True.
You can't let them tell you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you run your house. You run your house.
Yeah, I had I think you and Chris were there. 100% you guys were there. We had a situation there that of a kid.
This was a while back.
Yes, 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, if it was not last year, it was the year before. We had a kid but I want to bring it up because you're saying that. We had a kid that only had a membership of once a week.
Yeah.
Okay? And we do stripe kids every 3 months, And as they're going up on belt collar, we stripe every 6 months. So we're not a gym that, we're going to be making money of every stripe, every belt. No, we do one belt test a year, and you better come and show up. If you're not, I'm not going to give you just to please you or to make your parents happy or your grandparents. No.
You don't get a participation.
No,
you have to earn it.
Like, look, we're dealing with kids, and dealing with kids right now means they're not going to go to see you, Joe. You know what I'm saying? Because you're teaching them,
You teach them you have to earn what you get.
Exactly.
Instead of having everything given to you. Which
True.
you always have to do.
True, I'm doing the right thing, man.
Yeah.
I lived my entire life as a martial artist, and the reason I started is because of bullying. And that changed my life because, dude, I didn't want to leave the house. It was horrible. The kids were horrible. They look at me like, oh, here you go, Buceta. And they beat the crap out of me.
They look at you as a target.
Oh, all the time, And I feel like that leads to drinking, leading to drugs.
It all comes
because
from mental health.
Exactly. So it pisses me off when sometimes I see some parents who are like, oh, he doesn't want to do that because, look, I'm not saying as you have to keep your kid in my gym. You can go to another gym, another martial art, but your kid, your son or your daughter needs to be somewhere to learn how to defend themselves and how to respect other people.
I think I've had a couple parents who are mad at me because I push the kids too hard.
Yeah, we had one. So we had one and you were there.
Yeah,
for sure. You were there too.
Mm-hmm.
So this kid used to come once a week, right? And one time I got this phone call from the manager saying, hey, just to let you know, this mom wants to pull out his kid out because he hasn't got a stripe. I said, well, pull his record. And in 7 months, the kid show up in the gym 3 times. So, I mean, he was not only doing once a week, but dude, every time the kid was doing something, he was just
all over the place.
Not only all over the place, he just didn't want to do anything. He's got the attitude. So instead of her even going like, you know what, I'm gonna give you 3 times a week, and whatever I give to you, right, it's gonna be given to you if you come 3 times, and you gotta work hard. Yeah. So she went. So I called her and said, hey, I'm sorry, but I don't give stripes away just because the other kids are getting a stripe. It's because they're coming. It's not because I don't love your kid. I love your kid, but I'm not going to give him to make you happy and making him happy. He needs to understand that in life, you need to work. You need to gain. And right now, you only give 7. I said, do you know how many times he's been here? 7 times. It was like something ridiculous. Yeah. So that means it was not even 7. It was less than that. No, it wasn't 7. It was 7 months. I think he went like 3 times. So it's like, dude, you paying the gym for him not to come, and 1 time a week, that's not right. You got to do at least a minimum of 2. So just to make it short, it's like, look, man, anything you do, for your kids, you guys should be that. And talking about kids, I want to bring one thing up. Because you're coach, but also it's really cool to see your daughter, right? And that's another thing I want to reach. Your son trains, Jiu Jitsu, and now he did wrestling last year with my son. How cool is, because your daughter, she is awesome. So is your son, but your daughter is like a different breed. Like she, you don't blink, she'll kick you in the head. And if you definitely don't roll jiu-jitsu well, she will choke you out. And she won a couple of tournaments. Oh, yes, and we were there together. So tell me a little bit about it, both of them. How do you feel having both kids training with you?
Oh, I'm ecstatic having both training with me. Teach them the skill set they're going to need in life. With Adi, I'm ecstatic and scared at the same time. Why? She acts too much like me. She copies me in absolutely everything I do, which could be a little scary.
Good. That's a chick that boys will not play around with.
Nobody messes with.
No.
There was one story where Angelo was getting bullied when he first started Eisenhower Middle School.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
So he comes home and says he's being bullied out of this. All I know is Adi and Buxton. What's their names? He's like, why? I'm never going to kick their ass.
Hey, just to make it clear, I do not teach that, okay?
No,
I do not teach that.
That's actually the way I used to be. No, but I'm ecstatic to always have them. I know I push them hard, but I know they need it. I need them to know that life is not going to be easy.
True.
Everything you want in life to accomplish, it's going to be hard work, and put the work in.
True.
You can't quit. There's no such thing as quit. You could quit, that means you're done everything. You quit one thing one time, that's it. You're going to be able to quit everything the rest of your life. You're never going to succeed.
That's true.
So
it is once again, it's really nice to see, how badass she is right now.
Oh, yeah.
And he,
if Angelo put his mind to it, he could be the exact same way.
Oh, bro, he's tough. He's good.
I know he's tough.
But I feel like both of them, they train hard. Like actually, this last month I see him like training actually way harder.
Oh yeah.
I feel like he's getting now he's 15.
Oh, he's 15.
And Adi is
13.
13. So yeah.
She's only 13.
She's 13.
Yeah, man.
And she punches. She's got the heavy hands.
Oh
like
man,
me.
we see her. I'm telling you, I see her hitting pads, kicking pads is next level. Like she is so strong. It's amazing.
There's a funny story behind that too.
Tell me.
My wife, one night she said, "She can't hit that hard." And Adi's sitting there. I'm like, "Don't do it." She's like, "Why?" Adi's got my hands. She's heavy-handed, so when she hits you, it hurts. She can't hit that hard. Adi, hit me in the arm one time.
Oh no!
It only took that one time. It was hurting for the next 3 days. It never happened again. All you hear is, "Oh!" and running to the other room.
Why did you let her do that?
She said she wanted to experience Adi's punch one time. So I'm like, go for it.
Sometimes you gotta feel it.
Yeah. You don't actually know what it feels like till it actually happens.
True.
And she let her hit her arm one time, and all I hear is, "Ow!"
Man, she hits hard. I hold pads for her, and it's like, what the heck? So tell us about it. So you did a couple tournaments in jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
right? And what else towards tournaments? Did you do anything else besides the IBJJF and all that stuff?
Mostly I just focus on the training. 'Cause I love training the kids. I like to see them progress.
Yes.
Go from one level to the next. That's what most of my focus is. Teaching there, and then once a year we do refresher training at work. We have to teach all the officers. Most of our self-defense, because the self-defense is based around let the force pass.
Of course.
No real offense, more a lot defense.
Mm-hmm.
I do throw some stuff in there once in a while to show them that they maybe shouldn't do, but because a lot of our policy procedure, when we do take an inmate to the ground, they don't want us to go for chokes.
Mm-hmm. Well, we saw that. We saw guys that don't. And this is the
Or
thing.
joint locks.
I really wanted people to understand this, okay? A guy that will choke somebody out to death is actually not a guy that knows the technique.
He knew nothing what he was doing.
The guy that is choking someone to death, that's a guy that don't know what actually he is doing. Because we know how to choke, when to choke, and when to stop. Do you understand? Because when I went to do a seminar in one of the states around us here, the sergeant was telling me like, oh, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. I'm like, okay, how are you gonna actually arrest someone? You gotta get that taser, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I hope it works.
Yeah, hope it works. But some big dudes would throw that taser and then the guy's like,
Some of these guys on drugs and everything, the taser isn't effective.
And they just pull it out and keep coming.
I've seen a couple guys, actually in Hawaii, they get shot with a 9mm and they don't stop.
Jesus.
Because they don't feel the effects. They don't realize what happened. It's drugs out there these days, they make you go crazy.
With a 9, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Then again, the guy was 400 pounds.
Okay.
So it had a lot to go through.
That's
That's
like
don't
Chris's
even go
size.
there.
That's like Chris's size.
Yeah, about half it.
COVID 40. Got hurt. So
Excuses.
yeah, all the excuses. But
So, to make it sure,
Yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu is definitely a good thing for the officers.
Definitely.
Yes.
It builds your confidence on the street, builds your confidence anywhere you go. It's another tool in your tool chest.
Nice.
And you want to have as many tools as you can out there.
And you definitely would recommend.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Every day.
Good. So we went an hour, pretty much. What else do you want to talk about? Are we good? You want to bring some up? Because like I said, I want to at least bring the awareness towards, a lot of officers, what we can do. I know, unfortunately, we won't talk about it, but unfortunately some new things will happen that you might going to take a long vacation. That's going to be really bad.
By work, I'm moving to a new city.
Oh boy.
Brooklyn, here we come.
Oh boy. Oh,
November
Brooklyn.
8th.
You are in trouble.
so I just want to touch base because we said that you guys don't get a lot of training.
Oh, no.
The refresher's only like 4 hours. In your professional opinion, what would you like to see as far as would you like to see it?
I like to see it as a standardized class 2 or 3 days a week.
At the
At the
work?
academy or at work, yeah.
Or would it be something where the department stops pulling money for like?
Or you
you
can
know,
do
they buy a lot of.
Or you
toys
can
and
do
stuff
something
like
like a reimbursement program. You show a contract, you go into the class, you have this is how much I pay per month.
tuition reimbursement.
Yeah, like that.
I think that would be the best thing.
Yeah.
Because I talk to a lot of the officers and they always bring back like, I know, like once again, I went to a state that I was like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Look, if you're an officer, you don't want to be obese. I understand you might get some weight. I get it. Okay, but now you're an officer and you're obese. Like, dude, this is your
You're
life.
not just a safety risk to yourself, you're a safety risk to everybody else at that point. How are you going to respond to a situation where you actually have to run 100 yards?
Yeah. Oh,
And you can't even get out of your car.
Oh man, a lot of people want. So that's the thing. Like you say, I think it would be. I know some state after all these things that happened with the riots and stuff. A lot of the time they could not shoot and do stuff. They were all like we have to mobilize people, and a lot of people have. Sometimes you see 6 guys trying to stop one person, and they can't. And I'm not talking about a huge 300-pound guy. I'm talking about like an average 185. And the guy's just moving. So a lot of the times, it's just because they don't have the proper technique.
They don't know what to grab and what not to grab, and they don't know how to hold it in place.
True.
Pretty much.
And I feel like this is what the problem is, with like you said. I think I have actually a black belt that was teaching. Once again, I'm not gonna say the name, but he was teaching actually a police department some jiu-jitsu, and I don't know if it was every day of the week or 3 times a week, but he was getting paid, okay, and everybody was super happy because they were able to, you know what I'm saying?
Benefit from it.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't want to get in trouble. You're the law, but you got to be careful with all the things that can happen.
One of the things with our job with the Federal Bureau of Prisons is if we don't teach you something in self-defense, you're not supposed to use the word.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get pulled into a court case, they said, "Lord, where did you learn that?" Blah blah blah. We were in self-defense. I had to come in as an expert witness and say, "No, we did not teach that."
Well, I know there's a lot of things that I do not agree, man.
Oh, I know.
So, us. So, coach, our coach, our lieutenant. It's a pleasure to have you in our lives. It's a pleasure, honor to have you in my gym. As a friend, as a family friend. I can't thank you enough for the times that you were in the gym, that you are at the gym, helping me out to run my business,
Donating your time.
donating your free time, which you work extremely a lot, and it means a lot to me. It's always meant a lot to me. So even though I didn't want you to go, but I know it's a great move on your career, but I still didn't like it. But I know it's a good thing for you and your family. And man, I know how much work you put in, into this work and into your life. So you are what you are, my friend, and I have great respect, for you and your family. You're like family for us.
Yes, sir.
And this success that you have and the results of the hard work you put in all these years. So they're very lucky to have someone like you.
Thank you.
Yep.
You guys already know about our family. You guys already know where I am. Come visit. I know you wanted me to go back to Hawaii.
So I got a quick question. You going to Henzo's? You gonna try?
Probably.
You better.
He's right down the block.
Oh my God, you gotta be there.
That we actually have staff housing, and his gym is right down the block.
Oh my God, you're so lucky. Now, Hansel knows me, so when you go there, you're gonna say, "Hey, this is who he is."
Well, all I got is LCCT, so that's how I wear when I walk in there.
So he'll like you. He'll be hooked right away. Coach, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy it. I enjoy it.
I did too.
I think it was fun.
It was good to see you again too before you left and everything.
Yes.
You guys know I'll be at the gym. I'm on vacation next 2 weeks. I'll be at the gym pretty much every day.
Okay. All right, guys. I hope you all enjoy it. We had a great time. Once again, thank you so much for your time. And not only to come here and share, because I know like sometimes people don't want to talk about their job as officers. It means a lot, and I hope the new officers, they can see it, that we can help each other.
And stay safe and God bless all that.
God bless you, brother. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
God bless you, bro. Awesome.
And once again, check us out. LCCT is the gym. You can check out the podcast, the Jiu Jitsu Legends podcast on YouTube and all platforms for podcasts. Thanks.